folks, welcome back to the Try2Be YouTube channel, and tonight I'm going to do the Hathersage Hilly Bike route, racing here on Sunday for the Hathersage Hilly triathlon. So thought it'd be a good opportunity to come and do the bike ride. Just going to do it solo, so I'm going to have everything from the front of the camera, from the front of the bike head on, but I've got the microphone, so hopefully we could track the whole ride. So that's the plan, and we'll see what this route looks like. It's called the Hilly for a reason, so I'm expecting some hills, and I've driven in, so definitely driven down some and up and down some hills. So going to go ride that now, and we'll see how we get on at the end. Okay, so we're off, we're on the course, and starts with a nice downhill, so that's quite nice. I'm sure this won't last. It would appear we're going the wrong way. It can't be. I think we're going the right way. I'm not sure. I'm sure we are. This does look like the right route anyway. So all the arrows on the Garmin are pointing in the right direction, so that should be okay. Couple of little hills and then this nice long downhill. Little rise and then a nice downhill again. not going to go over fast tonight. I don't want to thrash myself around this. More just to get a feel for the road, the route, any of the tougher climbs that may or may not be there. So just take a gentle ride really. Nice evening. It's not sunny, it's not too warm. I think it is Wednesday. I think Sunday looks like it could be a bit wet, which will add another dimension to things. Legs are a bit heavy and tired from last night's spin and run, to be honest, but never mind, we've got swim tomorrow and then a rest day Friday, Saturday. Ready for race day Sunday. It's definitely in the early stages of this ride. There's definitely some room for speed. There's a bit of a question mark around TT bike, to be honest. I just think the downhill back into Hathersage is just a little bit too steep to be on TT bars. These little rises just sap the energy and the speed out the bike, although I'm sure some of it's got to do with my legs. Still aching from last night, like I say. Okay, so we're coming down the bottom of here. We've got a foot down rule to obey, primarily because it's a right turn at the bottom of a steep hill, and we won't have any right of way as we come round here, so this will be a stop and foot down, check the clear and then go again. So that does tell me that we're on the right route at the very least, because I know that from the event guide. definitely ridden this section before with Chesterfield Tri Club. We came out from for sort of Teversall way, came all the way up here. I remember coming down that road and drafting a caravan for a bit. See, again here we've got some steep little, just little rises. They're nothing long and steep yet. Although this one does go on a bit. But so far, still in the big chain ring. So heading out towards Eyam. The village there is known as the Plague Village. Had the Black Death, Black Plague back in the whenevers, hundreds of years ago. And you think of isolating and COVID has been new. Well, Eyam was the first village to do that. I'll try and find out what year it was. 1200 and something, I think. So 800 years ago, or whenever the plague was. Come over them little hills. Got a nice downhill again. Where we can take a breather, bit of active recovery to let the hill do the work and the gears. Just another little rise here. Another nice downhill to just recover that speed we've lost. Sharp left coming up here. I think this is it here. We're going to watch out for that on race day. Completely the wrong gig. So I do feel like the worst is yet to come. They don't call this the Hathersage Hilly for nothing, and so far it's been a lot more down than up, which only means one thing, and I think we're heading sort of towards Grindleford, Froggatt. Yeah, here's the traffic lights at the end of here that are new. So on race day, this is going to be a neutral zone. So if we get stuck here and obey the traffic signals, because we haven't got right of way, even though we're in a race, we're going to stop here. We will get a time reduction, with the time to pass through this section here will not be counted. So if we get stuck at them lights, it's not so bad. It's not the end of the world. Lovely river crossing over here, and you're not losing any time. So those that don't get caught, well, they will just have less time deducted. And yeah, we're at Froggatt. So Froggatt Edge was where, if you look back on the videos, you'll see that Ben and I did a run around Froggatt Edge back in the spring, and that was a nice and hilly run. So we're kind of heading in that general direction of Froggatt Edge, and like I said, the worst is yet to come. This is it, I think. So I'm going to take our time up here today. Sunday might push on. I'm currently at just under 5 miles, so almost at the halfway point, and we're in 18 minutes at the moment. So we do have some nice time advantages on that way down. I just even scrub it all off on here. That's 5 miles, and it's only 12, so we are halfway, and we are going to feel this climb now as it starts to just climb up a bit steeper. Yeah, I don't think we're going to gain anything off the aero helmet for Sunday. So standard bike helmet and glasses. Do a pothole there. So generally speaking, the road's pretty good. Yeah, this is that longish climb back out of Grindleford, Froggatt. I think the trick here for Sunday will be just to contain or maintain a consistent pace, kind of holding this around 7.5 miles an hour at the minute. And I think for Sunday I'll put the Garmin power pedals on so we can get some data around power afterwards. But still climbing at a consistent pace, so I'm quite pleased with that so far. Quite nice so far to see all the cars are giving me space. They're all waiting behind and plenty of room as they overtake, so that's good to see. Okay, we're coming up to the top of the steepest part of the climb really. So overall, it's not too bad. I do think maintaining this pace will definitely help for later on the run. Okay, just get up to the white sign, if you can see that in the distance, and I think we get a little bit of rest, and we certainly drop gradient a bit. Okay, just concentrating on getting up this hill now. Okay, I don't really know how far we've got to go, but we're nearly there. I think we're going to come out at Fox House, which then gives us quite a long section of downhills back into Hathersage. I think, so where we are now is we parked here at the National Trust, wherever it is, and over on my right is Frogger Edge. So I do know where I am at least. Okay, it's starting to burn in now, this climb. I definitely don't think the TT bike on this section is going to be any good at all, so I'm going to stick to the road bike and use the difference on the climbs versus what I'd gain on the downs on the TT. So I think we're just going to get over this bit, and we might be over the worst of it with any luck. Beautiful views though. Probably can't see much on the camera, but as you're riding along, there's some really nice views. And some rather loud, noisy motorbikes. I heard it coming, so it didn't make me jump so much, but we've gone up a couple of gears, so we are on a lower gradient, just picking up a bit of speed. And seeing the green on the Garmin screen is a blessing really, because it's been red and orange all the way up, so we're starting to see some green. As we come around this bend, we should crest the steepest part, or the steeper part, and start to feel some relief as we turn to go downhill. But yeah, this is a long old climb. That one was a bit close, the white one. Possibly the closest so far. And that's the way to do it. Not like that. Honestly, some people have got sense, others are just ignorant. But when we're riding on the roads, it's kind of what we've got to live with. As bad as it is, but watching for it and being aware of it is where you need to be, because at the end of the day, if we take care on the roads, we'll get home alive, safe and well. But those idiots in cars, sadly they'll wake up tomorrow morning still being an idiot. So I suppose we should be grateful for that. Okay, so Garmin's telling me we're into the green, so the elevation, the incline is reducing, but this last little bit here doesn't feel like it very much, although I have gone up 2 or 3 gears, so maybe the ability to turn the pedals is telling me a different story. Okay, so we're going to come up slightly different than I thought actually, but kind of where I expected to be before I drove here. When I drove up, I came out at a junction past the Fox House. This is going to take me along the road down to the Fox House and turn right round it. So it's where I expected, but driving up here seemed to suggest something different. But this is why going and have a ride and recon the route prior to a race, because if you know the area a little bit and you recognise places, then you've got a little bit of help. Junction here to be aware of, because we're coming out onto a live road. Okay, so I think we're really seeing the end of the worst of it in terms of climbing, because we now should start to enjoy a bit of downhill. Certainly able to push back up into the big chain ring. A lovely sunny evening in the Peak District, so worth coming out just to enjoy this. Just take on some fluid here. Oh no, so I'm wrong. This is the road I drove in on, and we are going to come out dead in front of the Fox House. So I think this is the road I drove in. Feels like it. So this is where I thought it was coming down from the right here. There's 625, the Sheffield Road, but another junction just to be aware of. Now we are quite a lot downhill towards Hathersage, so we can pick up some of that time that we dropped. Get up into the top gear, let the legs turn on the pedals, take care on the bends. And I think this is where all the advice is: don't ride on TT, because whilst we can get tucked in and get a little bit of aero, we do want to be at the brakes, I think, especially there's a bend here that I'm aware of. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be fighting to get off the aero bars and onto the brakes for that. But we can get a little bit of aero on this section now, just to pick up some of that speed and time that we've dropped on the climbing. There's a little bit of a rise here, which I think we can carry some speed on. Let's come up a couple of gears to try and just spin up this hill. Okay, so the route had Ben Smith, one of our Chesterfield members, committee members, as a target, and he's now, according to my Garmin, he's finished. So this is a previous route he's done, and a good target to chase, to be honest. But I think I'm probably 5 minutes or so slower, although I know I could go quicker on the first section before the climb, so I'm just taking it a bit easier. But on Sunday I could just go flat out down there and make the most of it, whereas he probably hammered it on the climb because he's a very good climber and good on the bike generally, but got to use this section now, this last few miles, just to relax the legs a bit and just get some recovery until I'm ready for the run. Okay, some glorious views there, look at that, across the Peak District. Absolutely lovely area of the country this. Pleased I live close to this because it's not that bad a journey to get out here and enjoy it. This is definitely the bit to pick up your time. Yeah, the guys are right about the TT bars. You've got to slow down for this bend enough to sit up, come off the bars. You wouldn't want to be doing that, it's dangerous. Lose your brakes. Okay, so traffic lights here, I guess we'd have to obey these. I think it's more of a pedestrian crossing if I'm honest. Now we're going to go left here. Twat. Try and remember to edit that out. It just annoys me that they don't even think about giving way when there's an obstruction on their side of the road. Never mind. Okay, not so sure I want to go down here. So I think I might have to go back up. Yeah, we've been down here. We don't do that twice. I think that's the end of the bike route really. I'm going to stop the Garmin as well because I've just come down a hill and I know I passed and came down earlier, so I think somewhere there'll be directions to the rugby club and the finish of the route, but for now I think that's just enough of the bike route to see where we are. So anyway, quite a good ride, enjoyed that. Nice little route, bit of a toughie on the climb, but even so. Right, Sunday is race day, so more effort on Sunday. Still got a 6k run to do that's hilly, off track, on trails, all sorts of nightmare stuff. We'll do a video for Sunday, so look out for that as well. But for now, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and look out for a race day video on Sunday morning. The car now. Yeah, I did kind of go past the rugby club, so I don't really know where that is, but on race day I'm sure there'll be some marshals and directions, and just behind me here, up here, is the pool and the Lido. So I don't think we can get in there and have a look today, but the pool is there, outdoor pool, heated, so that'd be nice. And it's a strange length, it's 100 feet, so 30.5 metres, which is a bit weird. Got to swim 14 lengths, that's 425 metres or 426 metres, I think I calculated it too earlier. So going to be interesting swim, interesting bike, very interesting run, looking forward to that. So look out for that on Sunday.